for this week's sprint. It's been a lot of cleanup. First of all, I got the keyboard input management system correctly done, so the keyboard manager of the whole system only deals with a list of single key managers that are active. The single key manager are the ones that look at and go through the list of responders. So in the update here, they check if the key theta is different. If it is, then they go through the correct list and notify all the responders that need notifying. The other thing that happened this week was I went and created the scene switching. I did it via command pattern, so there's a scene manager level command runner, and that initially sets up the first scene here as just a default empty scene. Here, the only thing it does is create itself and delete itself, and it deletes itself once, of course, a new scene's put on the stack. So if the user wants to set a scene, add a new set scene command. That will, when executed through the scene manager level command pattern, activate the scene manager change scene method, and that method will tell the current scene to end, get rid of it, call the destructor, set the new scene that was passed in to be the current scene, and initialize that scene. So that looks a little bit like this. If we run the game, we've got here at the beginning all the assets being loaded in, then a bunch of constructors, then the default scene destructor, all the destructors happening, bam, 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 and then constructors once again as the demo scene is being loaded in. So this is still the basic demo. I've modified a couple of the objects, so I had to remove them from this demo, but it still creates boxes, and those boxes go away like in the earlier version. And now if I hit the Q key, it can switch to a different scene. This is my my game test scene. We've got some malicious enemy boxes and a house. The ship is also player movable. There's no shooting yet because of an interesting little issue. If I try to create a bullet type object, I cannot get it to be on a line with the player, because in order to do that I would need to pass in a matrix for the rotation and or vectors, and the game really doesn't like that, because then they won't be aligned, and I'm not quite sure how to get around that issue. But we have at least some of the game lifecycle things happening. It isn't a perfect system yet. It needs some more work, because when I try to switch scenes when there are active game objects that, for example, are alarmables, I can't go through the regular deregister cycle because the scene is ending on that current frame. So what I have it doing now is in the initialize method. I can show you here. So the demo box is the thing that's coming back, and it has initialize methods for all of its components, but those initialize methods just clear the whatever lists are being used to make sure nothing's double registered. in particular in the alarmables case, since active alarms does contain pointers in it, I am almost positive that I'm leaking memory through these. So that's an issue. It only happens if you have active objects during a scene transition or an exit, but it's still something that I need to sit down and draw out and work out how I'm going to get objects that are active in one scene that are registered to that scene um, processed through the deregister before the scene actually exits. Uh, Other than that, I think it's about it. There's still plenty on the to-do list despite the week of catch-up, so it's going to be a good one.